Hello everyone, welcome to the day 10 of the 100 Days of Cloud. This is Lakshat Pan from Azure Developer Community, and today we are going to, it's not like a deep dive. I'll quickly give you some quick tips and topics that you need to understand. I have realized one very important thing that, like, if we will jump directly into the virtual networks, there'll be quite a few problems. When I say problems, what I mean by these problems, right? So when I say problems, it means maybe you don't realize, like, there are a couple of things, right? There are a couple of things. Though I've already given you what are the topics you need to understand, what are the topics you need to cover. If we have gone if you have uh, if you were here in the last session that I taught, that was around in the last session that we did on the day 9th, where we were talking about these network NSG groups and whatnot, right? So if you were there in the last session, then it might be very easy for you, right? But if you were not here for the last session, it's going to be tough for you. Not tough, but because I'm not saying if you have not attended the last session, then it's going to be tough. But the problem is, if you have not attended the last session, I have given you a couple of topics to practice. And if you have not attended those, you will realize a couple of things which will go out of your head, right? That's why I do not want that ruckus to be made. What I will do, quickly give you these tips, how you can do this, how you can learn everything, right? I got a couple of questions like, sir, how I can just quickly make this, I'm not able to figure this out, right? And whatnot. So, like, about subnets, right? And there are a couple of times that let's give me 1 second. Virtual networks, day 10, save, send. It's 27th, right? Yeah, it's 27th. Mm, perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So let's quickly start. Today's topic is Azure Virtual Networks. We will, for next 3 days, if you have seen, like, maybe for 10th, okay, for 10th, 11th, right? For today and tomorrow, we'll be covering this entire virtual network. If you want, we can do one thing. I'll give you the topics today, and you have to read them, you have to understand them, what this means exactly, and then we will jump off to the new topics tomorrow, right? Because if I'll quickly it's like, if I'll tell you everything today and you won't be able to understand everything. So I'll quickly give you some gist. Like, do you know subnet? Just, if you are here and listening to me in the chat, just tell me, no, do you know what is DNS and what is subnet? What is subnet masking? How we do subnet masking? Any idea? I'm just asking in the chat. Do you guys know what is subnet masking and how does the subnet masking works? No response. Okay, fine. So there are a couple of things when we talk about subnet masking. Before you dive into the subnet, you should understand first what is network, how you should, maybe, what is network, right? What exactly the network of change means, what is inbound traffic, outbound traffic, what is this traffic means, what is subnet, what is subnet mask, what is DNS, what is IP address, what is virtual address, virtual network. I'll tell you, there are a couple of things that you need to understand, that is NAT gateway, network security group, route table, and subnet delegation, right? So I'll quickly tell you all these things. Let me first write all these topics for you, right? What else? Subnet address, NAT gateway, service and service endpoints, and maybe, yeah, this one also, like subnet delegation. Wow, this is quite large. This is a quite a big list that I'm gonna give you today for today, right? So these are pretty much the decent topic that you need to explore yourself. You can just, network for inbound and outbound traffic. Then you need to understand what is subnet, then what is subnet mask, then DNS, then IP address, then subnet address, then NAT gateway, then service endpoint, then subnet delegation. Now, how you can understand and from where you can learn. Just give me 1 second, I'm giving you this. I don't know if it still exists, but I can quickly check, right? I'll see if I have these here. Mm, okay, let's do one thing. Networking in Azure. Let's search for this networking in Azure. Then I might be able to find some good resource for you that I have explored earlier. Not this one, not this one. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to figure out what would be good for you. What this guy is gonna cover. Perfect. I got the perfect video. See, it's a quite lengthy video that I'm giving you today. I do not do this for usual, but today it's very important. It's very important. Trust me, if you go through this video, this will help you out a lot. Like why? Because it has covered all the topics that you are going to learn, or maybe that you are going to learn when you will maybe in your third year. आपको एक कॉलेज में एक टाइम जरूर ऐसा आएगा जहाँ पे आपको ये सारी चीजें पढ़ने की जरूरत पड़ेंगी. So this is like a must read for you. Do not skip these topics. These are pretty much important for any developer to understand. For any developer, or I'd say for any technical person, not only developer, but for any technical person or for any tech enthusiast, these are the topics that one must explore, I will say. Okay, so what are these topics all about, right? This is about the networking. I'll quickly present my screen, I'll show it to you. Right, making a virtual network in Azure, it very easy how you can just make a virtual network. I'll quickly show it to you. So just you just search, you go here, then you guys you go to virtual, you search for virtual networks. Right, this is the pretty much virtual network looks like. So what is virtual network? Either you are setting up a connection between two servers in different regions, or you are connecting maybe two servers in the same region. Suppose आपके दो सर्वर बने हुए हैं, आप उन दोनों के बीच में कनेक्शन बना रहे हो. Right, you are just connecting, that is one way. Or you are connecting your two servers which are in two different regions. So one is in Pune, but one is in Mumbai. You are just connecting those servers with VLAN, or maybe some different VPN gateway. Right, there are multiple ways by which you can connect. Right, so these are the two things. Right, third thing is on premise to Azure. So suppose you have some data or some servers you have on premise. कुछ office में आपके on premise server पे आपके already networks present है, and some you have something on Azure part. Right, you are connecting both of them, you are making a connection both of them. Right, so that comes under the virtualization sphere of networking. This entire sphere where we talk about this entire sphere, maybe just give me 1 second. This entire sphere where we talk about connecting two servers in same region, uh, connecting two servers in different region, and then connecting two servers in maybe from on prem to cloud, Azure cloud, I'll say. So these are the three things when we try to make this time kind of connection, we make it through virtual networks. This is what we call a virtual network, where we are setting up something, where we are setting up this connection through multiple ways. For this there are a number of ways. For this we use VPN gateway. Right, for this particular thing we use VPN gateway. Then for this and this, there are a couple of other things that we usually use. Right, there are net gateway. There are a couple of things that I will tell you, which we use. Right, so suppose let's talk about this virtual machine. This network gateway is already here, this virtual network is already here, and mm, I'll tell you how we can just make these service points. Right, just give me a second. Now see there, so this is the address space. And what is the address range? So I have this number of IP address with me. It's 2 to the power 32. Right, okay, one more thing, CIDR notation. Do you know CIDR notation? Again, this goes very much important way. If you do not understand what is CIDR notification, go through this, because These are the particular terms that I'll be asking you every single time, right? So these are the particular terms that you need to go and learn before jumping into the cloud thing. ये टर्म्स आपको समझ में आनी चाहिए, तभी आपको एक क्लाउड में कैसे इनको हम यूज करते हैं और क्यों इनको यूज करते हैं तब समझ आएगा, राइट? व्हाट इज द आइडिया? सो वी गॉट this IPs, this is the IP range. We can connect this much number of networks, we can connect this much number of addresses, we have this much number of address range, right? Now if you want an additional address range, you can always add it right over here if you want some more, right? This is the default, you can't delete it, this is the default, right? This one is the default. Then again it comes to subnets. Now you can always make a subnet like test subnet test, right? Then you can select this address range, from which address range to where. Now there are a couple of things, if we will understand right over here कि कितने एड्रेस आपको प्रोवाइड होंगे, देयर विल बी द टोटल नंबर ऑफ एड्रेस विल बी 65,000 समथिंग, but it's usually 256, but Azure keeps 5 reserved address, so Azure will lock 5 addresses. Now which are these 5 addresses? First 4, your first address will be blocked, 192.168.0.0 will be blocked, 0.1 will be blocked, 3 fourth, 4 addresses at the starting, and one last address will be blocked by Microsoft Azure due to some firewall purpose, and there are a couple of things. And these are IPv4. If you want some IPv6, you can always add. So there is one difference between, okay, there is also one more thing for you to understand. So these are, wow, this has been IPv4 versus IPv6. So IPv4 is it's like there is an octet rule. We generally use maybe there are different type of representations of both the addresses, right? If you will see, this is the format that we use in order to showcase IPv4 addresses. And if we we use hash tables like this kind of thing. You can see this is how we use, like is like these kind of addresses that we use, right? Now if you will see, there is one error is coming. There needs to be one particular range, like you have been assigned this particular IP, you have to make sure that your subnet doesn't exceed this. अगर आपने मान लो, it's एक एग्जांपल से समझते हैं इसको, अगर आपने 35 सीट्स रिजर्व कर रखी हैं, तो आपको जितनी भी अरेंजमेंट, जितना भी डिवीजन करना है कि यार 10 बच्चे मेरे यहाँ बैठेंगे, 10 बच्चे यहाँ बैठेंगे, 10 बच्चे यहाँ बैठेंगे, ये जितना भी मैनेजमेंट हो, आपने इन पे कुछ भी करो, एश्योर डजंट केयर, बट आप उस 35 से ऊपर नहीं जा सकते, आपको उन 35 रेंज के अंदर ही रहना पड़ेगा. you you have to keep yourself under that particular 35 range. My bad. So you have to keep your subnetted address, subnet mask under that particular IP range. अगर suppose मैं इसको 7.6 कर देता हूँ, okay, not 6, maybe if see what it is asking, it has given me three errors. CIDR notification में एकदम सही है, ठीक है, सबनेट भी सही है, राइट, बट मेरा यहाँ पे तीसरा एरर जो आ रहा है, दैट इज द सबनेट एड्रेस प्रीफिक्स ओवरलैप्स प्रोडक्ट वीएम, कि जो आईपी एड्रेस मुझे असाइन हुई है ये उसके बाहर जा रहा है. दिस इज व्हाट इट इज सेइंग. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट my IP address range is under the hood, right? I have to make everything in there only. Net gateway, it's something like the connection that will make yours. So I'll choose this one. I'll choose the net NSG group, this one. Okay, just give me 1 second. There is one yeah, here you go, right? This was the diagram that I wanted to show it to you. Okay, not this one, not this one. By the way, these are the 3 kinds of network services that we usually describe, that is connect cloud to on-premise, protect and monitor services, help with application delivery, right? Suppose for one place to another, you are using for some kind of virtual network. For internal services, you're using second this product and protect and monitor services. Third thing, the first one, that is cloud to on-premise. This is all the three we have already discussed. Now this is the typical internet, and this is how the NAT gateway works, right? So suppose uh, maybe if I'll just show you this with an example. Virtual, I'll show it to you here. These are pretty hard for you. Let me see something. Let me see something which can be okay. This again, this is the pretty much simple. ये देखो, हम बात कर रहे थे कि हमारे लोड बैलेंसर्स होते हैं, फ्रंट एंड सबनेट है, एक बैक एंड सबनेट है, ठीक है। इस पूरे एंटायर स्ट्रक्चर को हमने बोल दिया वर्चुअल नेटवर्क। इसके अंदर जितना भी नेटवर्किंग करनी होगी, जितना भी सेटअप करना होगा, सारा कुछ अब हम इस नेटवर्क के अंदर करेंगे। We will do every single stuff in this stuff only. So whatever we will do, it should be under this only. Like this, will make our network security group. Yesterday I told you how to make a network security group, and why we, by the way, why we use network security group, right? It's precisely for grouping everything in particular place. Like अपना front end अलग कर सकते, like you can see यहाँ पे front end अलग है, back end अलग है, हमने पूरा अलग अलग कर रखा है, right? So that the connection can be different, right? We can just add these particular things, right? There can be particular connection, and this entire structure where we manage all the things, this is called a virtual network, because everything that we are doing is virtually connected, right? This is pretty much. Today there will be a quiz on Azure policy. Oh my god, I'm really sorry, Navid. I just forgot to prepare the quiz, right? I'm really sorry, my bad. I just forgot to launch the quiz, right? I'm really sorry. These days has been very hectic for me. Yesterday there was one session at Microsoft. Today there was one offline session in Microsoft. Again tomorrow I'll be there in Microsoft Gurgaon campus for one other meetup. This has been a quite hectic for me. And again, the AI Odyssey series is happening, and Satya Nadella sir is coming to India, right? That kept me a lot, right? That most of the time I'm busy in those stuff only. Yeah, Saurav is a very nice guy. I know him. Yeah, Saurav is the he's like he's more like a mentor for me. He's the very nice guy. Nice. So I was talking about this. ठीक है, ये आपको शायद अभी समझ ना आए. So what we will do, we will first understand what are all these 6 7 things that you need to understand. So I have given you this link. Please check out this link, go through this one, maybe because it is required. I do not recommend any kind of video course, but this time it's required, because if you do not understand what is a subnet, then everything will pass away from your head. Everything will pass away from your head. That's why I'm not keeping this session very technical. I'll just quickly show you to how you can just make a virtual network, how you can just. So see, I just went into subnet. I did this. I can choose the security group route table. I can also define what kind of route table. Services, what kind of services I want, maybe what kind of services I just want, event hub, storage, web services. If you zero selected, it's fine. I'll save. It will add one subnet for me, right? If you want to make another, I'll go to this. I'll go to create, right? There are a couple of things when we create a subnet there. When we create a virtual networks, right? We have to choose in for which particular, maybe this resource group we are making this. So I have done to pro done के लिए हम बनाते हैं virtual network का name NSG testing group, right? I'll choose the each zone, review plus create. See, there are security things that you can. So these are the things. Firewall, हम अभी DDoS protection. So Microsoft gives some kind of DDoS protection, right? It's like denial of service, right? Denial of service, direct denial of service attack, right? So it's like someone floods your network, right? Someone kept hitting the IP again. So that will take down your system, right? I'll tell you with one example why actually we need virtual networks in a managed purpose. Suppose there is one front end part. You have only one network working, and you have one website hosted. आपने एक वेबसाइट होस्ट करी है, ठीक है, उसका बैकएंड सब कुछ एक ही वर्चुअल नेटवर्क के अंदर है, ठीक है. नाउ वन यूजर हिट्स वन पर्टिकुलर आईपी एंड he requests for one particular thing. Now if there are 25 different elements inside it, if there is images, if there are maybe text, if there is some kind of illustration, if some kind of videos, that particular request will keep hitting that IP again and again and again. And though it is not a spam user, but it feels like a spam user for anyone, right? So that's why we manage our network as well. For backend we are managing different thing, for this, for the front end part we are doing different things. So you can divide everything in a particular order so that the entire system should not be flooded. That's the different, that's the only purpose that we think. And what is this denial of service attack? In order to prevent our system from any kind of hackers. So it, you can go with the premium option. There is some premium option available with this, but only catch is, right now we are just going with, we are not going with this because we do not require this, right? You can also define from which particular IP addresses range do you want, from where to where, how many addresses you want, that depends. So if you will increase these, there are so if you will increase this, why it's only till 2039. So if you will increase this number will increase, right? So you can make some default subnets, let it be here, let it be here, and we'll just do review and create, right? I'll do review and create, and you will see or create. I'm just waiting for this to complete, then I'll quickly show it to you. Yeah, see, this is the virtual machine. This is the maybe kind of virtual network that has been made already, right? Virtual network is here. Now if you will go to this option, right, you will see this is the address space I've been alerted, and I have 256 addresses, and I can always devise this. Tomorrow what I will do, I'll tell you, after you learn all these things, DNS, what is DNS, what is firewall, what is subnet, what is address space and everything. Tomorrow what I will do, I'll show you peering, how to do peering, how to connect both the systems, how to connect one VM to another. I'll tell you tomorrow how to connect one VM to another. Hello Aksa, hello everyone. Tomorrow I'll tell you how to connect one VM to another, right? Today it is very simple. You can always make a network, maybe a virtual network like this, right? It is pretty much simple. You can always make a virtual network like this. Then you can just go to your network manager. You can see a couple of settings will be there, like how you can manage your networks, like. And there is one more thing, I'll show it to you. So there is one thing that is called diagrams. If you click on diagrams, you will be able to see what kind of, okay, right now we do not have any kind of stuff, right? That's why. So I'll show it to you, just give me a second. I'll go to, no, I'll go to virtual machine. I'll go to prod VM, right? There are a couple of things that are here. Let me search a diagram. Oh, that I'm in a virtual machine, right? My bad, I have to search. Just give me a second. I'll have to go to network security groups. Are there any resources in this? Yeah, there are a couple. So what I will do, I'll okay. Right, let this diagram open. I'll show you some fun stuff here. Yeah, you will see. So after you click, after you search in any virtual network, after you search for a diagram, it will show you how your things are connected. Right now, see what is happening. See this, we have this storage account, we have this storage account. This is virtual, this is network interface, right? This is the IP configuration from where, this is the entire Europe region where we have hosted. This is our server, right? So this is our server, right? This is our network interface. This is our virtual machine. This is our virtual machine, right? And this is, okay, sorry, this is our virtual machine. This is our NSG. This is our network security group, right? This is our network security group. And this is our, let me just click on this, right? Yeah. And this is our virtual machine right now. Why it's showing crosshair? Because virtual machine, we have stopped the virtual, it's not working right now. So you can see, and your virtual machine is connected like this. And my, this VM prod 1 VM means this is connected to this entire, this subnet, test subnet for learning. So I have made this, right? So you can see the diagram, how we have, how you, what your virtual network looks like, how it looks, how, how we can just make, see, there is this virtual, this is subnet, we have created one subnet that holds the entire thing. Then this entire virtual net, and this is the entire virtual network that we have, right? So this diagram thing will show you up how your virtual network exactly looks like. Today's task is go through this video, learn about what are these things and why we need these things. What are these things and why we require these things? Just learn after these, and you are good to go for today. Just learn after these things, why we require all these stuff, and that's it. This is all you have to do, right? Because this thing, I don't see any relevance of doing any kind of maybe quirky stuff here, and I'll just tell you something and you do not learn anything. That's not my note, attain, maybe intentions are, right? I just want you to utilize your time, go through this YouTube video and try to learn this stuff. What is a virtual, what is IP, what is route table, what is NSG, what is security rules, and what is subnet, how to do subnet masking, what is subnet, right? Because that is very very important for you. Then I'll show you some command stuff, how you can make a virtual machine, how you can just, tomorrow what we will do, we will make a virtual connection, we'll make a virtual connection between one virtual machine to another virtual machine. I'll tell you how to do it, right? So that's it, that's pretty much for today. Tomorrow we'll cover the most of this today's stuff, tomorrow's stuff, right? From Azure perspective we'll cover tomorrow, much more things we'll cover tomorrow. But from today, from networking perspective, you should know these things, right? Go and learn these stuff today. Go and learn this stuff today. That's it. That's your entire work today. If you do not want to do some hands-on with Azure, it's fine. But you should learn what are these things and how should we, and why it's there, why it's even required. What if we do not subnet any address, right? What happens if, why we do subnetting? Why when we do subnetting? Why subnetting even exists? Try to find out these stuff on your own, and then come to come to, will join us at 5 p.m. I'll try to reach as soon as possible. By 5 p.m. I'll reach. I hope so. I'll reach, right? I'll reach in any case by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Then we'll quickly do the Azure stuff, how to set up your entire virtual network and everything, right? Yeah, so that's it for today. See you tomorrow, where we will talk about some good stuff about the virtual machines, about the virtual network stuff. But do not forget to do this and do this. This is all you need to do today. These are the important stuff. So thank you everyone for joining in, and we are keep organizing some more events. So stay tuned. Thank you.